Let's do some more questions on the topic 9.3. So again, everything to do with plant growth, okay? So let's just get started. What generates new cells in dicotyledonous plants? Okay, so let's break down this sentence. Generates new cells. That just means mitosis, right? Dividing cells to make more cells, because all cells come from pre-existing cells, right? That's from the cell theory. So to make a cell, it's got to come from a previous cell. Now, dicotyledonous is just a type of plant, okay? Because there's monocotyledonous, dicotyledonous, these two types. But in general, they have so many things in common and just some slight differences. So we can ignore this word and just assume they're talking about all plants, okay? What generates new cells in plants, okay? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 1 and 2? Or is it 1, 2, and 3? Okay, so to answer this, we must know what a meristem is. So I'll refresh your memory. Here we have a plant, okay? A plant has some key areas on it called meristems, okay? One here at the top, and then they have those that are occurring here at the branches, okay? And they have some in the root, okay? And then they have some that are inside the stem, okay? We have names for these, okay? Intercalary, lateral, and last one there, apical. Okay, now what are meristems? So meristems are little places that I just mentioned that cells can divide rapidly, okay, to cause growth, okay? So the apical meristem is at the top of the plant always, and it's going to cause growth in terms of height, okay? Cells will divide here, become more and more, causing the plant to become taller. The lateral meristem, which is located here or here or here, at the branches, right? These are a place where cells, again, meristems, can divide and grow rapidly to make branches. And then lastly, we have the intercalary meristem, which is inside the root. This is a place, like all other meristems, where cells can divide rapidly to cause growth. But this specific growth is thickness, okay? Instead of height, like the apical meristem, it's going to cause thickness, okay? It's going to cause the tree to be thicker, okay? But all of them, what they have in common is that they are places where cells can divide and become more to cause growth, okay? So, therefore, what generates new cells in these plants? Yes, apical meristems and lateral meristems. They both cause generation of new cells, right? Division to cause the plant to grow. It's definitely 1 and 2. What about 3? The phloem. We know the phloem is a little pipe that carries sucrose and glucose and all these things inside the stem of the plant to provide all the cells with sucrose and energy, okay? But it doesn't make new cells. That's not its job, okay? So it's going to be 1 and 2. Answer will be 1 and 2, so it's going to be C. Next one, the image shows seedlings that have been exposed to unidirectional sunlight. Okay, what do they mean by unidirectional? Okay, wait. Unidirectional means, so say we have a sun, they mean light coming from one direction, okay? So not light coming from all directions, okay? So not like in your room, maybe you have 10 lights, okay? That means there's light from every direction. Unidirectional light is when light comes from only one direction, okay? So, coming back to this question, they show that they have these plants that have been exposed to light from one direction, okay? And we know that plants grow towards light, right? This is what we learn in this chapter. So what statement explains the growth towards the light source? So what reason would these plants grow towards the light for, okay? So quickly, let me refresh your memory. So we know that light inside plants, so inside the stem, so pretend this is the stem of a plant, there's a bunch of molecules called auxin, okay? And this molecule causes causes cells to become larger. So without sunlight, they are evenly spread, okay? They are everywhere, causing the plant to grow evenly everywhere. But in the presence of sunlight, the auxin is kind of afraid of the sunlight. So if sunlight is shined from this direction, auxin will move away from that side of the stem, okay? Now we know that auxin causes plant growth, okay? Causes the cells to become enlarged or bigger, right? Now, that means only this side of the plant will grow, okay? So what happens is this side will not, and this side will. Notice the cells got bigger. This will cause the plant to bend, okay? To bend towards the sunlight, okay? So that's essentially how it works. Okay, so let's see which statement here is true. So, light causes auxin to inhibit cell division in the shoot meristem. Again, a meristem is a place where growth happens, okay? So what's wrong here is cell division, okay? So we know that auxin causes cell enlargement, okay? Elongation makes them bigger. Notice the difference between these images. There is not more cells on this one. There's just bigger cells. They increased in size. So cell division is not the key function. Maybe it's a minor function, but the most major function is cell enlargement. So therefore, this one would be wrong because cell division is not the purpose, okay? And again here, B also has cell division, so it's not going to be this. So it's going to be C or D. So let's read them. Auxin is concentrated in the side of the shoot. Again, shoot just means like stem. With light and inhibits cell elongation. So they're saying auxin is at the side with light. Is that true? No. Auxin goes to the side that is opposite to the light, the shady side. Okay, so we know it's not C. But D is saying auxin is concentrated in the side of the shoot without light and promotes cell elongation. That's exactly right. Okay, it's going to be D. Perfect. Okay, here's another auxin question. How does auxin exert its effect on plant cells? Okay, is it A, acts directly on the cell wall causing expansion? Okay, let me explain. So here we have auxin, right? We know it comes to this side, but how exactly does it cause this growth? How? It influences genes, okay? We know cells have nucleuses in them, which has genetics, and genetics is the code for what needs to happen. Now, auxin will go to this code, the genetics, and basically tell it to do something. So it's going to tell these genetics to do cell enlargement, not really cell division, very minor, but mainly cell enlargement. So it's going to go there, tell the genes, tell them to express some molecules that can make the cells become larger, okay? So one of the molecules is elastin. So then the cell will then make elastin, and this elastin will make the cells sort of elastic, hence the name. And when they're elastic, it means they can kind of blow up like a balloon and become bigger, okay? So does it act directly on the cell wall causing expansion? No, it doesn't act directly on the cell wall. It acts on the nucleus, on the genetics, like I just mentioned. So it's not A. How about B? It binds to a receptor resulting in expression of genes. Yes, it binds to a receptor in the nucleus resulting in the expression of some genes. For example, a gene that makes a molecule that's called elastin, making these cells bigger, okay, more elastic. So it's going to be B. Okay, why not C or D? Causes the vacuole to absorb water and expand the cell. No, that's not the right mechanism. It's really by gene expression. Causes the cell to undergo cell division. Again, no, this is a super minor thing. It doesn't do that. It does cell enlargement rather than cell division, okay? Cell enlargement. Okay, cool. Next one. Expansin, okay, is a plant protein that loosens connections between the cellulose fibers in plant cell walls, allowing growth. Okay, this is kind of what I just mentioned. It's kind of like elastin. It's a molecule that is going to help these cells, their membrane, become less tight, more elastic, so that they can expand and become bigger. Okay, that's kind of what they're saying here. In what location would expression of the expansion gene be expected to be increased? Okay, so they're basically saying on what location of the plant stem will this gene expression happen? Okay, which side of the plant will become bigger? On the shaded side of a shoot being exposed to light. Yes, this is true because it's on the shaded side, not the side where light is. Okay, so it's probably going to be A. Okay, good. On the light side, nope, not the light side because that's the side of the sun. Okay, on the shaded side, okay, that's is true so far, of a leaf. No, not a leaf. Remember, it's of the stem. The stem is what causes the growth towards sunlight. So leaf is the wrong part. Same with D. Shouldn't be a leaf, it should be a stem. Okay, last question now. How does auxin contribute to phototropism? Again, phototropism means photo meaning light, tropism means growth. So growth in response to light. We know that's what auxin does. So it increases production of light-sensitive proteins. B, it increases growth of cells on the shaded side of the stem. That's true, right? Shaded side is the opposite side of the light, and it increases growth of those cells, causing them to be elongated and bigger. So it's going to be B. So it doesn't make anything related to light-sensitive proteins. It doesn't inhibit axillary buds. And it definitely doesn't inhibit stem elongation. It increases stem elongation. So it's going to be B. So you can see how many questions are related to auxin. You must nail auxin. You must nail that process. They come up so frequently. So I'll make probably another video, a part 3, where I do some more questions if I can find any. So I hope these help. Do as many as you can and you'll be absolutely ready for your test.